Hey, this is Politics with Laura. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Just when you think life can't get any interesting, um, more interesting things happen. I have to say 2024 is coming off in an interesting way. OMG, OMG, OMG. Okay, I'm going to talk about two topics. The NYPD that got the beat down. Oh, and got away with it. Now, look, if that were American citizens, if that was American citizen of color, let alone if you were black, that would have been a different story. Black people would not have been able to lay hands. No, but illegal aliens, 10 of them, jumped two police officers. People have mixed feelings about it. I'm like, whoa, ever since that qualified immunity, they can't do what they have done. And I think not all police officers know. The fact that I have to say that is a problem. But there's a certain segment of police officers that are hands on. Okay. But now these illegal aliens came in and people's elbow, giving the workman's boot. I mean, oh man, it is something. It is something. Now, in the Middle East, the real country, I am stunned. I'm stunned that Biden broke rank from the real country and said, no, I'm not going to allow you to do that. There are certain things that you can do, and there's certain things that you can't do. But you, real extremists, are taking it too far. You need to pull it back. And this is how I'm going to pull you back. I'm stunned. Really, I'm stunned. I have not seen a country tell real what to do. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But let's get to the news. Let's get to the news. Let's get to the news. New York City, Mayor Adams, you got a lot going against you. I mean, you, man, how are you going to explain this one? Now you have Governor Holster saying that she's going to deport these 10 illegal aliens. Now, let me just make sure that I get this straight. If you come here illegally, aren't you supposed to be deported to begin with? But I digress. I digress big time. Now, here it says five migrants charged with violent meltdown beating of police officers. 3 suspects still wanted. Cops. Man. Oh man. Now there are 2 schools of thought. I'm going to get to one. One school of thought is they're calling these people savages. You let these people, Biden, you let these people here unchecked. We don't know who these people are. You let them come in and do whatever they wanted to do. They get all kinds of free stuff, and now they can beat up on our public officials. They're doing it on our public officials, and you let that go. It is something. Oh man, oh man. Oh man, oh man. So here it says police where is this at? It's called a villager. Now this happened on West 42nd Street. 2 police officers get the business, right? Police officers arrested 5 individuals identified as migrants in connection with the violent meltdown beating of 2 police officers last week. The detectives are looking for 3 others connected to the attack, authorities say. Now, the shocking footage of the attack, which the NYPD released Wednesday, shows a group of young men battering a police officer and lieutenant. They went up the ladder at about 8:30 p.m. January 27th near the Chandler building at 220 West 42nd Street during the arrest that swiftly grew out of hand. So, whoa. Now, due to my understanding, what additional sources were saying that these illegal immigrants were acting up. And some say, well, these savages, they act like that in their country. Now they come here and they have laws that are bent specially for them because the Democrats want them to vote Democrats, but we got to put up with all this mess. We got to put up with all their behaviors. We got turds, Amber Heard turds all over the park. People put urine in cups and put it on people's houses. What are we going to do with these people? Look how they act. They act like savages. That's one school of thought. They're saying you bring people from other countries, they have third world problems. We are a first world country. They don't know how to behave at all. How can you bring these people who don't know how to behave in a first world country? You got to give them a buffer country to basically get them up to speed. This right here is ridiculous, as some people say. Other people's school of thoughts are saying, hey, the police got the hands and the feet. They are freedom riders for Black Americans who've been getting abused by police officers for a long time. They got hands and feet. They got the some people are saying that they got the workman construction boot. I was like, oh man. And it's not funny. I'm not laughing at the situation. I'm just laughing at what some of the people say. It's kind of comedic. But there are some people who are like, well, yeah, the police got the business. I'm thinking, wow, okay. They're not even looking at the illegal part. They're not even looking at that. They're just looking at that they are able to put hands and feet on people, and not one was eliminated. Not one illegal immigrant was eliminated for putting hands and feet on the police officers. And one of them come they get processed, and then they're out the same day. And one comes out giving 2 middle fingers. It shows you how much he has respect for law and order. 0. And it's only going to allow them to say, hey, I could do more. I could do hands and feet and give somebody a violin. Just a thought. But it goes on. It says, that's when the rest of the group piled in, unleashing kicks, punches upon the members of service just outside the shelter. That's probably why they're acting a fool, because they're still in the shelter. No American citizens, no naturalized citizens, and no residents are bringing these people into their home. What they did to those police officers, interesting. Outside the shelter, the cops were battered across their body heads and were treated at the scene for minor injuries. Officers were able to arrest 4 attackers while the other perpetrators fled eastbound on 42nd Street towards 7th Avenue, law enforcement sources said. The police officers wrote that those arrested in the brawl are migrants hauling from the shelter across the city, and who's outside of it. The NYPD identified them as 19-year-old Darwin Andres Gomez Isquiel, with the address based in Mississippi. Wait a minute. Wait. Hey, Darwin. You were in Mississippi. What you doing up here up north? Or did the people down there give you the Southern hospitality? Oh, my goodness. Oh, okay. All right. Let me see. Identified as Derwin Isquiel. Okay, 19-year-old Kevin Servita Arocha, who resides in Brooklyn. 24-year-old Yorman Ver, uh, Veron, also listed as residing in Brooklyn, and 21-year-old Wilson Juarez, who lives in Queens. Man, oh man, oh man. The four were charged with assault on a police officer, gang assault, obstructing governmental administration, and disorderly conduct. 2 days later, 22-year-old Hohen Boada, listed as homeless, was also in cuffs for attempted assault on a police officer and gang assault, authorities said. All five men were apparently released on their own recognizance, according to court records. Okay, well, if they were allowed out based on their own mental capacity, but they acted like a fool beforehand. Okay. I'm trying not to be judgmental. I don't think I'm doing a very good job. Okay. Arocha was arrested January 9th for petty larceny, while Yorman was previously taken into custody in November and December, each time for for robbery. Sources with immediate knowledge of the situation told AM News Metro. The attack on the police officers are becoming an epidemic. Oh, so there were more attacks on police officers. Now, these are the same people who are throwing bottles at Black Americans and Twinkies. Now that's not good enough. Now they're going towards police officers. Now wait until they go for you, Mayor Adams, start throwing bottles at you. This right here is your voter base. These are your new Democrats. So what you gonna do with them? Mayor Adams, what are you going to do with your new Democrats? Just a thought. Okay, the attacks on the officers are becoming an epidemic, and the reason is the revolving door we're seeing in cases like the one in PBA. President Patrick Henry said, taking aim at the courts. It is impossible for police officers to deal effectively. Is she? I'm sorry. Okay. Uh-huh. So the police can't do anything when they bring them to jail to be processed. The jails, the judges let them right on out to go out and to do more. So you're only giving them an incentive to continuously do more. They're like, oh wow, man, look at America. You can do anything. I can rob somebody, take their money, go to jail, keep the money, go back out, and nothing's done. I love America. Wow. Biden. Just when you do something right, you do something wrong in the same breath. All right. Okay, here it goes on. Patrick Henry, okay, taking aim at the courts. It is impossible for the police officers to deal effectively with the crime and disorder if the justice system can't or won't protect us while we do that work. Police officers have released images of suspects still outstanding in hopes that they may be recognized and help to be brought to justice. Well, I don't know. That community is not going to tell you anything at all. Anyone with information with the whereabouts of can call Crime Stoppers. Um, I don't see that happening. They're laying hands and feet on the popo, hands and feet, giving elbows, giving crossbows, giving people's clotheslines. And some people may say, hey, I've been having problems with police officers for a very long time and nothing has been done. I got hurt. People are suing, all this other stuff. But now you got people that are actually putting hands and feet on police officers, and they just walk on out the door to go back and go beat up some more police officers. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying what people are saying. Now, some people are like, deport these savages. These are savages. Some people are like, these people are freedom fighters. Two schools of thoughts. Now, this is what I find interesting. Oh my goodness, Biden. Just when I think that you are a complete flop, you do something that many people didn't think that you would ever do. Biden issues an executive order targeting real extremist settlers. Now, over there in the Middle East, there is a big fight going on as the real settlement expands into occupied territory. Now, there are some Palestinians that are being displaced, that are being hurt, beat, killed. And as those things go, they're losing their homes, and then real extremists live in those homes. So Biden's saying, wait, stop the press. Hold on for a second. Let's hold on for a second. No. That right there can't not be done. You cannot do that. I will not allow you to do that. There has to be some fairness. I'm just thinking what might be going on in his head. Kind of hard to think. So here, the Washington Post says President Joe Biden is expected to issue an executive order targeting real settlers in the West Bank have been attacking Palestinians in the occupied territory, according to four familiar with this matter. Senior officials. A senior administration official who, like the others, do not authorize to comment publicly and speak on conditions of anonymity, as the White House has expected to announce the order later today. The order comes with Biden facing growing criticism of his administration's strong support of real, as casualties mounting in the real Hamas war. The move is a rare step against the America's closest ally in the Middle East, or the Mid East, whom President Biden says has the right to defend itself. Okay. You have a right to defend yourself as long as are they coming over here? Are they coming to you and occupying the land that was already occupied? I mean, if you defend yourself, now, if you're out there starting trouble and you're messing with people, then you say, I have a right to defend myself. But are the Palestinians coming to your side saying, I'm going to and take the land back and kick you out of your homes, put you out? Then I can see what you're talking about. But Biden, I can't believe I'm going to say this, because I've been on Biden for a little while now. Biden's under pressure. He has to show fairness because he has a large Arab and a Palestinian group over here, base over here, that vote Democrat. And you're a Democratic president and their supporters. So you're going to have to do something over there to show fairness. And you also have real people who do not believe what's going on over there and they think it should stop, putting pressure on Biden to say, hey, stop that. So it goes on. So the move is a rare step against America's closest. I already said that. Now, but the Democratic president has pressed real Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's government to show greater restraint in its military operation aimed at rooting out the Hay not Mas, the military group that runs Gaza is struck Israel on October 7th. Biden has spoken out against retaliatory attacks by Israeli settlers and pledged with those responsible for the violence will be held accountable. He said in late October that the violence by the extremist settlers amount to pouring gasoline on already burning fires in the Middle East. It has to stop. And I have to say, I agree on that one right there. I do agree. Something has to stop. They have to be held accountable, and it has to stop right now, Biden said. Now, what Biden did, I thought was quite interesting. What he did was this. The order will give the Treasury Department the authority to impose financial sanctions on settlers, but it is not meant to target U.S. citizens. A substantial number of settlers in the West Bank hold U.S. citizenship. So, on one hand, it's good. On the other hand, it's like, So, here, what if the settlers that are there that may be behaving in an extremist way that hold dual citizenship to Israel and also the US? So if Biden says, you're not going to do that, you're not going to act like that, behave in that manner, that is not cool at all. So I'm going to sanction the real people, but without those, but we're not going to target the US citizens. Interesting. And this is really interesting. All right. The attacks by the Israel settlers have intensified since the war started. Joe Biden, you did that. If you would have never tore up the Abraham Accords, there would be more stability. I will put it like that. And some Palestinians have been eliminated, according to the Palestinian authorities. Right groups say settlers have torched cars, torched several small bedons communities, forcing evacuations to other areas. Biden expected order has first reported in Politico. The new executive order comes as Biden was set to visit Michigan today to rally support for the union members in a key presidential battleground state. The Democratic president has faced sharp criticism from Arabs and Muslims leaders all over his handling of the war with Hay not Mas. And the shadow of the conflict of the Democrats worry that it would have a major effect on the outcome of the November elections. Yes, it's going to have a big outcome. And whether if Biden is doing this because that is the right thing to do, or is Biden doing this? He's like, I really don't give two kites. I'm doing this for political things, and I want to stay in office. I want to beat Trump. Trump is my guy. I have done so much to hold him down. And you did. Did so much politically through all types of Alvin Bragg on him, through Letitia James on him, through Fannie Willis down there in Georgia on Trump. I mean, she got everybody doing. Okay. Doing all types of stuff to Donald Trump. So I guess Biden is seeing the writing on the wall. Well, the illegal immigrants are putting hands and feet on police over there messing with other citizens in New York City. I mean, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be really interesting. That's all that I can say. But having said all that, what do you think? Will it become more